Many of you have seen my radio. It has some problems that I've never completely resolved. And there's some needs that I have for buddy boxing cause me to buy another TX16S. Now, the new one I bought is a TX16S SE edition, special edition. They are far from the same. This one costs 3 times the amount that this one costs. This one's a third of the price of this one. This one has plastic, everything, whereas this one has aircraft aluminum parts incorporated into it. I wouldn't say it's cheaper. It was less expensive, but it does feel a little not quite as substantial as the 16S Max. The other reason for the SE designation is the multifunction card inside this radio, the multifunction module, is not a 4-in-1 multifunction module like in this radio. This multifunction module will do close to 100 different RC protocols to emulate in this 4-in-1 module. And of course, both radios have the expansion bay in the back where you can use an external RF module in the expansion bay. That's the reason there are 2 antennas. This antenna goes to the multifunction module in here. This antenna, of course, comes with the external transmitter in the external bay. Notice also this full-blown Crossfire transmitter is powered up from this radio in the expansion bay. This radio, that never happened. This radio is 6-8 months. I don't think it's a full year old. I'll have to check on that. During the first days I had it, I had a lot of back and forth between Radio Master, Crossfire, and the company I bought the radio from, with the fact that the expansion bay would not run the full 2-watt Crossfire transmitter. We never got that fully resolved. I had bought a new 4-in-1 module. This is a 4-in-1 module for this radio. I was going to replace the 4-in-1 module in it to see if that would run the full power Crossfire transmitter, because this Crossfire Micro TX version 2 doesn't go, it only goes to 1 watt. It has Wi-Fi in it, whereas the full one has Bluetooth in it in addition to the Crossfire. The head tracker in the other one, there's lots of differences. There's the full-size transmitter is almost 4 times the price of this one, so there's obviously some differences. So I was going to replace the 4-in-1 module with this brand new 4-in-1 module in this radio to troubleshoot this one not powering the big Crossfire transmitter. That's one of the things that pushed me over the line to order this radio, and the fact that it was so cheap. But the 4-in-1, the multi-protocol module in this one is not a 4-in-1. It's like a 1-in-1. I don't know what you would call it. If you go down and look in the protocols, let me turn off that external. We'll go up here and we'll turn on the multi-module. Now we'll look real quick. This multi-module has one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 protocols in it, looks like. And there's some sub protocols underneath. 1, 2, 12. If you go over in
trainer signal recovered, trainer signal lost, trainer signal recovered, trainer signal lost, trainer signal recovered, trainer signal lost,
getting in trouble with these radios.
Trainer signal
This
recovered.
is one of my problems, and this is one of the reasons I bought it. It's for a buddy box trainer and instructor. But if you get the radios too close together, you get in the dead band of RF propagation, and suddenly the two radios start trainer signal lost, trainer signal recovered. I had to actually go in there.
Trainer signal lost.
There it goes again, you see. I'm going to run in here real quick.
Trainer signal recovered. Trainer signal lost. Trainer signal recovered. Trainer signal recovered. Trainer signal lost.
And shut off that multi-module in this again, and that'll shut that up. So just to finish up about the little multi-module, this one is not a 4-in-1. This module is mounted in the radio right behind the plastic back here, and you see these 5 pins right here that come out are these 5 pins on the multi-module. Again, this is not a 4-in-1. This is a 4-in-1. It has about 100 protocols on it, and was basically bought to hopefully fix this radio's transmitter problem. So we'll be doing that in the future. But the other reason I bought the new radio is for the buddy box function. And let me go in here and show you how we do that real quick, because that was the major reason I bought it. But it was good to have it for troubleshooting the multifunction and transmitter problem in this radio. And if you go into your models and you go down to your internal and external modules, this is the external module. You can see I've got it set to CRSF, so it will talk to this Crossfire external transmitter. Now I also have the internal RF mode turned on at the same time, and I've got it set to FrSky RX. So I've got it set to an FrSky receiver. So this multi-module and antenna system is receiving FrSky transmitter data. This is transmitting to the platform, but it's being routed through this radio. So after you set up FrSky RX in the instructor's radio, you'll go down to bind and bind it to the student's radio. I'll show that in just a second. Also inside here you have to go into special functions and set up a switch. In this case for me, SC. This switch right here, SC. When it's in this position down, trainer will be controlling the platform. When it's in the middle or up position, the instructor will have complete control of the platform. So that's this switch, and it has to be set to trainer sticks and enabled over here. So that's all you have to do on the instructor side is turn on both your modules, bind the internal module as an RC receiver to the transmitter on the student's radio. Now also inside here, if you come into system and go over to the trainer function here, you'll see the stick inputs down here from the student, and up here is the 4 channels you're sharing. Now, the center position here has 3 functions. It can be off. You're not going to give the student control of that channel. In this position with a plus and equal, the instructor's inputs are added to the student's inputs. In the colon equal position, student has 100% of the input. The instructor has to flip the switch to take back over. In this position, you can say the student only gets 62% of the throws on his stick, or you can tell him he gets 100%. Even goes above 100, not quite sure why, but it did. And over here you can change the channels around if you want. And like I say, the student's inputs will be reflected down here. Okay, so that's all that's needed. I'm going to set this down. God, here comes this screaming about signal lost, signal recovered. And this area is the outputs of this radio. And you can see right now, roll, pitch, throttle, and yaw are all being transmitted out the Crossfire transmitter. I'm going to turn on the student's radio.
Welcome to OpenTX.
All that has to be done in the student's radio is go into the models, go down to internal RF module, turn it on in multi, go over here and set this to FR Sky. And then the first time you do this, you have to bind both the radios here, so they're bound. This is an FR Sky transmitter, as if the multi-module in that one was an FR Sky receiver, and then the Crossfire transmitter going out. At the bottom, you also need to set master multi in both of these. And you can see what happens when you get them too close. So I'm going to show you right now, if we can keep focused on this output screen right now. When I move these sticks, nothing happens. Nothing at all in the output to the platform. But if I turn the student's inputs on, now,
trainer signal lost. Trainer signal recovered.
Come on.
Trainer signal
Cut
lost.
it out.
Trainer signal recovered.
I'm holding radio behind me to get it away from that. Now then, the stick inputs, if you can see them here, are reflected in the instructor's radio, throttle, and yaw. So that's all there is to it. The instructor wants to take back over from the student. All they have to do is flip that switch out of the bottom, and now the student has no control authority. All the control authority is on the instructor's radio. So I'm going to run back into this and turn off the internal multi-module, so that garbage about trainer signal lost, trainer signal recovered will shut the heck up. So that's my new radio. That's the one reason that I bought it, was to troubleshoot the problem with the multi-module on this radio, even though I'd already bought it. I should have just put the multi-module in months ago and tested the transmitter, but I didn't. it was a good extra excuse to get the radio. So I still have my old Futaba T8 FG Super with the easy UHF long range transmitter piggybacked on the back of it. Got a really cheap 4-channel buddy box that's connected to the Futaba with a cable. So the models I still have that use the Futaba radio, I can buddy box up with my friends. And now the TX16S Max has a radio with a wireless buddy box function for all my radios running the Crossfire and stuff. I never adapted the Crossfire module to this radio. I imagine it might be able to be done. Might not be really easy. That's a pretty old radio, but it's like a tank. It's just so rock solid. All right, that's the new radio and the reasons I bought it. Like I say, I found this one for $89. But they were out of stock. I had to order this one from Canada for 99 bucks. A good radio for that price. Thank you so much for watching.